Ever wonder how the ultra wealthy manage their money, protect their assets, and build generational wealth? It's not just luck, it is strategy. And it starts with something called a family office. In this video, Ashley and I are going to break down some of the principles of having a family office, no matter what your income level is and no matter how small your business is. All right, Ashley. So we just got back from Mark J. Kohler's Tax and Legal 360 conference a few weeks ago, and this was one of the topics that they talked about. So let's go ahead and break it down for our clients. What is a family office to you? Like, what did you get out of that conversation that we were having with Mark?
Right. So the family office is not just for the ultra wealthy, as you said. Everyone should have a family office, and every small business is a family office. So we need to make sure you get that set up. And what the family office is it starts with including your family members and anyone really close to you into your board. And
Yeah.
at that time, once you have them set up on your board, you use your family office as a way of paying them for their services as board members. And what you're doing is if you're helping out your parents financially or your children, you're paying for your everything for your kids. Maybe you're still paying for their, you know, extracurricular activities. If they're in college and you're helping with tuition, whatever that might be, you can use above the line dollars to pay them for those expenses that you're paying for either way. So you're getting advantages out of it. And then you're also educating them. You're teaching them financial literacy and you're helping them build, that financial background and have that growth.
So some of the things that we can talk about, like in our family office, when we have these meetings, we can have them at least once a year. But if we want to have them more often, like quarterly, we can do that. We're going to talk about estate planning, investment management, legal planning, donating, tax optimization, protecting the assets. We have a whole video on paying your family members, everyone from the kids to your parents. So that would be a good one to check out too on how to do that because it's not just there's some things that you need to know of how it will benefit you tax wise and how to do it correctly. All right. How to hold the perfect board meeting. Did you write down anything on that, Ashley? Or do you want me to
Yeah,
cover
so
that one?
you definitely want to make it official. And by doing that, you need to have an agenda. What are you going to talk about in your meeting? Maybe you're going to share your trifectas. We talk a lot about the trifecta here. Maybe it's how your investments are doing in your business and personally. Maybe potential projects. And then you also need to plan for your perfect meeting. Are you traveling? Where are you eating? And you're unlocking those as write-offs as part of the business meeting. And in your agenda, what are you talking about? Are you talking about, new changes happening in the business? Are you educating them? Maybe you're watching a Dave Ramsey video talking about teaching your kids the debt snowball, the
Paying
benefits.
out a credit card debt.
Right. Roth IRA, the benefits of the Roth IRA. There's so many things you can do, but you need to make sure you have an agenda. You need to make sure you're keeping minutes, and doing all of that to make it official.
One of the things that Mark did one year, and I really, really liked it, they did an education piece with the kids and it was on, savings, like, how can we save? And he basically told them that in a year from now we're going to come back and they set up Acorns. It's an app, and I think every time you spend money, like it rounds up and it puts it into a savings account or something for you. And he said, has however much that you can save in the next year, I will go ahead and match it, and then we will put it into your Roth IRA. And they came back a year from now. Some of the kids took it seriously. Some of them were like, "You were serious." So some of them ended up with a lot in their match program that Mark did for the kids, and other, they didn't have much saved. So make it fun for them. Say you're going someplace, and I guess we can touch a little bit here, but you want to have this meeting and if you're traveling for it, it needs to be at least 4 hours long, 4 hours, 1 minute long. So you need to have the time documented. And then say you're going, you can't take a whole week off, but say you're going for a weekend, we would be able to write that off. As long as it's all planned out, and then we'd be able to cover the travel and the meals and stuff with that. He also mentioned something fun of bringing swag. The swag would be write offable too. So like say you're going, I don't know, someplace cold and you want to get everyone new fleece jackets and get the company logo embroidered on them, that would be write offable. Or maybe everyone's getting new blankets or something like that. So that was kind of fun that he mentioned that. All right. So let's bring this back to the business side of things,
Mhm.
because we want to, with our business, we can have a board of advisors or a board of directors. Ashley, what's the difference between the two? Because I always forget.
The board of directors is for a corporation and the board of advisors is for a partnership or LLC.
Okay. So yeah, just different names, but they act the
They
same.
act the same, yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember why it's important that we have the board meetings, and for asset protection wise, like what do we want to cover in these meetings and why it's important?
Right. So if you have, let's say, an LLC, whether you're taxed as an S corp or not, you probably did that for asset protection. And but it's not as easy as filling out a piece of paper that says you're an LLC and now your assets are fully protected. You have to put in the work to make sure that you get the full protection that you think you have. And part of that is with having the board and having the board meetings, keeping good minutes, it's proving that you're operating as an actual business, right?
Say we're an LLC and we want to go to an S corp and we want to change the tax election, like we want to talk about that. That needs to be in your agenda and it needs to be in your minutes and it needs to get signed off on. The accountability plan, like say you want to start paying yourself for the home office, or we need to reimburse you for mileage. Like any of those important business decisions need to be talked about in the meeting. Even employee reimbursements, like how are we going to do employee reimbursements? Because if they're the accountable plan means that they need to turn in receipts. They don't have to pay taxes on it. You can reimburse them and it's non-taxable. However, if you're just giving them, say, a $500,000 bonus each month, and I don't want to call it a bonus, but say like a vehicle or for the home office or whatever, and there's no accountability for it, like it's just a like they they can spend it however they want to, that like it may be $400 and you're giving them $500 to cover their utilities or whatever and the mileage for driving. If we don't have the documentations that for it, it's not an accountability plan, and then it's taxed to the employee. So that's really important to be able to help the employees if it's taxable or non-taxable. And then if you're going to do like any personal development, any things like that, we want to document in those minutes. And that way it's just proving that you are running it as a business and you're treating it as a business. Um, in case you get sued, like you put the LLC into place because you want to protect it from losing your personal house if your business gets sued. But if you're not doing it as a business, you're not treating it as a business, they can use that against you. You're
Right.
piercing the corporate
So
veil.
exactly. So if you were to get sued on the business side and you're able to show up to court and you've got a nice corporate binder and it's got all of your documents and all of your meeting agendas and your minutes from your meetings and it shows everything's being done, you're going to have a lot better of a case to protect yourself than if you just show up with your one piece of paper and say, no, look, I'm an LLC, I'm protected. There, you're going to have a lot of holes in your case at that point.
Yeah. And Mark at the conference, he even, because he's a lawyer also, and he went through several cases that he had where it hurt him that they just had the LLC and they didn't have any minutes, that it, they weren't treating it as an LLC. They were just treating it like anything else, and And they didn't have any of that good paperwork to back him up that, hey, we've been treating it as a business. We haven't pierced the corporate veil, and they used it against him. Um,
Mhm.
all right. Is there anything else that you want to talk about that you think is important with this topic?
Well, I do want to say the 5 reasons that I jotted down for the annual meeting, like benefits of having it, or you get a tax write-off for the expenses for your lodging and your meals. And then also the asset protection we just talked about, audit protection. Number 4 is strategic expertise outside your skill set. So you're teaching, or you're having a learning opportunity. Either you're teaching the other members of your board something about business, maybe that they don't know, or maybe you have a speaker come in and teach all of
Yeah,
you something.
exactly.
And then accountability to reach your goals. Maybe you're using some people are on your board because you respect their opinions, you respect their advice. And so when you tell them these are your goals and what you set out to do over the next year or 5-year plan, you've got some accountability there as well.
Yeah. And some people don't like that because they're like, dang it. I told them I wanted to, I don't know, grow the business by 30% next year or whatever it is. Like, and you run into them at the supermarket and they're like, how's your goal going? Well,
Right.
um, now you actually have to do what you say you're going to do, which is good. If you are serious about building wealth that lasts, it's time to start thinking like a family office. Go
Mhm.
ahead and hit that subscribe button. Give this video a thumbs up. Drop your questions in the comments below. And if you're ready to take the next step, go ahead and book that discovery call with us, and we'll help you explore what a family office is and how we can use it for your business. But plus, we have so many other tools in our tool belt that we will be able to help you save on taxes, protect your assets, and build a legacy. That is our goal to help our clients. Thank you.
Thank you.